Go ahead and open up the meeting, and Kelly.
Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Thursday, June 26, 2025, 24th day of the April term. The Henry County Commission met pursuant to adjournment at the courthouse in Clinton, Missouri. Those members present were Jim Stone, presiding commissioner, Mark Larson, North District Commissioner, Jake Bradley, South District Commissioner, Kelly Merritt, County Clerk. At 9:09 a.m., Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Tuesday, June 24th, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried. Expenditures for the following departments were approved to be paid: employee benefits, law enforcement, GR, court administration, buildings and grounds, general county government, juvenile, assessor, university extension, inmate security, senior citizens service tax fund, and 27th Circuit Treatment Court. Stacy Shanks, Davis School District constituent, addressed the commission regarding the Davis R12 school issues. She shared her concerns with the district and how it is being administered. With the unknowns of the contamination and safety, she does not feel safe sending her children back to the district. Stacy shared that now that there have been 4 board members resign, the commissioners will have to appoint members. Commissioners shared that they will take the appropriate steps in appointing individuals to the board. They would like to interview individuals who are interested in running for the board for board members. What is best for the children is the main concern. Karen Mefford, Davis R12 superintendent, shared information regarding the district. There are 4 board members who have resigned, and the commission must appoint new members. Karen shared that one of the questions she gets asked is how much they are spending per pupil. She shared that the number is $14,731. They currently have 24 students that should be returning in the fall. She shared statistics of Davis R12 and surrounding schools. The final date for Davis accepting applications is July 1st, and they will start to conduct interviews on July 2nd. The process needs to be expedited due to the board not being able to do business. Dana Tribble shared concerns with the fly ash testing in Davis School District area. Commissioner Larson shared his opinion on the fly ash testing. He stated that he has done pretty much everything he can do as a commissioner in the testing process. It was asked by Tia West how Mark felt about moving Davis School back to the building and if the board had made a mistake moving the students back to the building. Mark stated he believes it was a mistake. Jim was asked his opinion. Jim stated he had mixed emotions about it. Commissioner Bradley was asked the same question. He stated that no, he probably wouldn't have sent his kids back to that building. Beth Wilson shared her concerns with being in a tough position as a school board member because taxpayers are not pleased with holding school in the basement of a church in another school district. Dennis Bowers, road bridge supervisor, attended the meeting. He shared documentation on South Match Maze, Northeast 100 Road Bridge in Bethlehem Township. Commissioners signed South Match documents. He also presented documents for a temporary easement with Frank and/or Souls Merrifield and Day Terry Denise Terry Trust in regards to Southeast 450 Road Bridge in Leesville Township. Commissioners signed all documents. Charlie Kidweiler, Davis Township, approached Jim Stone and Jake Bradley regarding 700 Road in Davis Township. At 10:53 a.m., Commissioner Bradley made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Larson seconded. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Sweet.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Smash that today.
You got that, trust me. Good Lord.
I fixed it on my
I knew you were.
permanent ones when I seen it. Sorry.
I figured it.
I caught it. July 1st.
Yep.
Can you believe it? This is the first day of the July term.
Mm-hmm. Good morning.
How are you all?
Yeah, good.
Good.
was on that well. It was so.
Toner for printers.
What?
Toner
Yeah.
for printers on there.
Mhm.
That is not cheap.
But there you go.
No, just, it's fine. Thank you. They get all jumbled up anyway.
Yes.
Mark, are they gonna do another walkthrough on that BRO?
Probably, I would say it'd probably be at least another 2 or 3 weeks. Then they'll get the grass up. So,
So it's not finalized yet. I have a couple questions for y'all as we get through here about that. Oh, that's part of it. That's part of my question. Also, the Defender, that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good, we took that out of opioid fund instead of the sheriff's fund, so.
Yeah,
just-
That's what
just so
we
you
talked
were
about.
Aware, makes more sense, great way to use that opioid money.
'Cause that is opioid.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I received a bill so the one that came through was the one that we paid a couple weeks ago to the contractor. It was half of
Yep.
the job at that point. The bid was bid in the
Yeah.
amount of $616,173.16 when they bid the job. I got a bill yesterday, or maybe it was Monday or Friday, I don't remember. It might have been Friday. In the amount of $252,128.38. Well, I got to investigating because I knew that didn't match what it said the balance to finish was on the last one. It was $247 something. And it says on here that there was almost $7,000 worth of change orders done on the bridge. And usually the commission approves
I was gonna say, who
change
approved
it?
orders. Right. And so I couldn't find anywhere that we had maybe snuck,
I
got
that
it.
I
Did
didn't
you?
realize what I was signing.
I didn't approve anything. I mean, it wasn't me.
So that's why I wanted to, because I knew you've been on that. Well, I've been watching that Kane's emails too, and on the little work order portion, I haven't seen anything that came through about work orders. So I'm not paying this. I have reached out to that Kane, the project guy who was up there taking pictures and stuff, because we haven't seen anything on that $7,000 of change orders. So I know that they probably want their money, but I need to see some kind of proof that we have almost a $7,000 change order somewhere.
Yeah,
So I'm holding on to that.
Might have, did you talk to Dennis?
I talked to Dennis.
Well,
Dennis was unaware of any change
Okay.
orders.
That's the first one.
So I reached out to the guy that was that was checking it weekly. I haven't heard anything yet, but I reached out to him right before. I was trying to solve this puzzle right before I left work yesterday.
Okay.
I did email him. I have no problem with signing the MoDOT. I mean, to get our money back, but I'm not sure that number's right. So I think
Yeah, we gotta wait on that.
I feel like we need
Cause
something.
nothing's in there anywhere on it. Is it compared to, with the change order?
It has the 6,000 change order in it.
It does.
So if it happened, it happened. I mean, if that's what, if there was,
Should've been
but
approved.
I want to know where, why, and how.
It
I mean,
should have
that's
came through
$7,000.
here.
and it should have been
It
approved.
had been
That's I would
through
have
here.
thought.
I can't get, in our business,
Right.
I can't, it's all government. I can't just do something, say, oh, by the way.
Yeah,
I want
especially
this
when it's a
money.
big job. I knew
Yeah,
what the total was
yeah.
going to be at the end, but I did call Dennis yesterday, and he wasn't aware of anything either. Because I thought, well,
Well,
maybe it just
Mark
said
should have
has
got,
to be.
should have
Yeah.
got something on it right there, cause he's the
So-
one that signed off on it.
FYI,
Yeah.
I'm holding the bill until somebody can tell me something, prove something to me. And I will let you look at that so you guys can see and compare it to the bill before.
Mhm.
And this was their total, I think that number's on that sheet.
16.
That was what they had bid. And, oh, this packet goes with it too. I couldn't find anything and I just don't think.
Okay.
I'm just hoping somebody somewhere can explain the bill to me and then I'll feel comfortable paying it.
Mhm.
And the bill dates are like 5/5 and
Mhm.
6 something. So on the 5/5 bill, there was no change orders. So it had to happen within the last month, I would assume.
Well, 6/9, you had to sign something here.
Yeah, but the bill date
Yeah.
up at the top in the right hand corner was like 5/5.
Yeah,
when
that's
it was
what I'm
actually
looking at,
created.
I was
Not
looking
when
at
we
the
signed it.
dates. Mhm. It is 16/16. And 247 was the amount balance finished then.
Right, and then they sent me a bill for like 250.
252.
I was like,
Mhm.
I did reach out to MoDOT and I thought I'd ask you today,
That's
Mark,
yours.
because I knew you had been up there.
Yeah.
Been the one that they was,
Yeah.
so. copy.
We gotta wait to sign this from Jacob.
I would not sign it until, because
Ah.
I don't know what that number's gonna be.
No.
See that number on the front
Doesn't
might
match.
change if,
That's right. Yeah, cause that's what I was asking, it's in there, somebody done something somewhere.
well, the MoDOT letter says they've looked at all the work and approved all the expenses, but
It's 7,540, looks
none
like.
of that
Is that
matches. No,
right? It doesn't match anything
none of
here.
that. That's
Couple of them went out.
not the same billing.
Hmm.
What's in question is the contractor's
Yeah.
billing, not the
That's
Great
LPA.
River. Yeah, not the engineering.
So that's
Engineering.
roughly $5,000 upcharge for something.
Mhm.
If you look in that one column, down at the bottom, it says it's $6,000 some odd dollars. It says
Yeah.
CO1 change
Yeah.
order. Is what I'm assuming that means, because down at the bottom it says change order. and
What's this civil LLC? That's 6,000.
It's not.
I don't know.
That's not the contractor's billing,
No.
Jim. That's the
No, I'm-
engineering, and
yeah,
then what
but
we're
I'm-
questioning is the contractor's billing.
But it had need to go through the engineering, please.
It would have,
Yeah.
but it's showing as a change order
change.
on there.
Mhm. But they had to put it somewhere.
I couldn't find that number in
How much I can do something?
there. Well, and then down at the bottom it says imbalance like
Yeah.
$1,800. So I told the seller of there, I said, he's gonna have to explain this billing process to me because the math ain't mathing.
I don't understand. Get another part there. See what that.
So I'll hold on to that. If I don't hear from Brent today, I'll probably call Zach if Dennis hasn't already talked to him. Or Lindsay, either one. See if they can give me some direction. I just thought maybe I had missed it or didn't understand something that I sent
Well,
through.
somebody missed it somewhere.
And so, we see if those. So I called Dennis first before I did anything. I figured he would know.
Yeah, if he was out there. Soon he'd have been involved in it. Or Jake.
The first one was fine. We were right on target for it.
Mhm.
Don't know. That's what the holdup is on that if they ask.
Civil LLC, I think, is a company.
Uh-huh.
Is what that is. They're a DBE.
Paying it.
Trying to figure it out.
That's why you pay her the big bucks.
Huh?
That's why you pay her the big bucks.
That's right.
I don't know
Okay,
where you
where you
guys
got-
are at, if you want to
Yeah.
do a public comment or whatever. If you want to.
Do you want to speak today?
No.
Because we haven't done anything. We're just,
Yeah.
we're
I'm good. I'm just hanging out.
Okay, all right. Now, you didn't need anything, did you? Do you want
Yeah.
to speak?
I do.
Okay,
I wanna know where we're sitting on this senior tax deal, because I've talked to every county around us and all of them are going on 2024. I've talked to the state tax commission and they said it's up to the county commissioners, not them. So where are we at? Why are we still talking about 2025 when every other county's at 2024? When the law went into effect in 2023.
we talked about that last week. It's on the dates on where we can get the software in and actually implement. That's a big problem. And then we don't have enough time because it's got to go out on a tax bill. And that had what, 8 days or something like that.
Yeah, it's yesterday,
Yeah.
the deadline is passed, it was yesterday.
Well, it's bad enough that the assessment went up when the house values went down. You ask any real estate agent, house values are down, but the assessment went up and then they stick us with locking it in this year. It's not our fault. You guys have had since 2023 to cure this. And it's 2025. So somebody's been dragging their feet. And it wasn't me. I paid my taxes on time, so.
Well, over the years, they haven't. There's only 44 counties so far as accepted, got it. But I don't know what's
Well,
going
I
to
talked
happen.
to every county that touches every county yesterday.
Yep.
And they're all on 2024.
Yep.
Because they all got their head out of their butt and started in 2023.
I agree with
So why didn't we?
you. Good question. Never did get that passed. That's where
I
it's
wouldn't
at.
want to give that kind of answer to a judge.
Well, there's nothing we can say other than it didn't. Nothing was coming up and nothing was satisfied there. That's what happened.
But I
I'd
know,
like to say,
in
something different,
2023, you
just
got
like-
things going besides this.
just like we had to try to get this other, and we was going to do it, I thought, first year, but we didn't. And then I don't know whether that would have changed anything there. Now, according to what I understood, we can change it after the first, isn't it? The first year, not the way you
I'm not
understood that?
sure. The more I keep digging into that, I'm not sure actually if you can,
Okay, see, that's where,
unfortunately.
just, that's where
I
everything's
mean,
at.
we could give it a valiant effort,
Yeah.
whether, I'll put it out there for us to revert back for the other people that come in. I personally, I'm gonna have to do
Huh?
more in research to find out. I've seen things that said that you can, I've seen things that said that you can't. So it's kind of up in the air. Bottom line is it's a took you down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, there's, everybody can sidestep stuff all they want. The bottom line is it lays the commission's feet.
If we'd have done it,
It took too long.
if we'd have
It
done
just
it
took
back
too long.
then, what would have happened, it would have been just the county tax and the senior citizen tax. That's it. That's the two that have been frozen. That's what was going on. Because there's too many of them, just like now, Bates County, theirs is just senior tax or the county tax, and I don't know, is it just their county tax, I believe? Did you talk to them?
Yeah, I
They
talked
just
to them.
froze one
They didn't
tax.
say how many they froze. I
Yeah.
just asked them on the
Yeah.
personal property
Well,
senior freeze, and they
Yes, they
told me
done
when
it.
they did it.
And that's what I'd said. Fine, because at that time when you done it, it had made $5 difference taxes because county tax is not that much.
No, school tax is what killed us.
And school tax on this, I don't know, because some of that you can't freeze, isn't that right? That's what you had found out. That has to be in
Everything-
lawsuit first.
In any statute, I don't care which one it is, I don't care what it says.
Yeah.
Till you take it to court, it's not a law.
Yeah.
Because it's all up to the interpretation of what the judge decides. I mean, there may be some statute in there that says you can't do this, and everybody thinks, you can't do this, and you go to court and you win. Now, it's not you know, so, this, I honestly don't know what to say. I've tried to get this since January 1. And I was more on the side that, and I've told people this from day one. I came into this, Jim probably knows 10 times more than I do about how this government stuff runs. My thought process was, you know what, I'm going to push this as far as I can until somebody comes to me and says, this is illegal. You can't do it.
That's the only way you can get anything done.
Well,
Wow.
and it truly is. And I know there was a whole lot of concern about, well, if we do this, we may get sued or we may get, and I'm I'm of the mind, and this sounds terrible to say, but the bottom line is if you're in charge of a road district, you ain't got enough money to do what you're doing now. How the hell are you going to sue the county? Where's that money going to come from? I mean, that sounds terrible to say, but it's the honest to God truth. So we should have just implemented it and let the chips fall where they may
And see where it
and
comes out.
see what happens.
You gotta see where it shakes out.
The townships is not the problem. Townships, just like here, because the townships get the money from us.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, they get a small part of the levy, but then the townships get paid by us,
Yeah.
the gas tax, and that's what we need to give them. And that we give that out every year, and that changes, that can change. And depending on what all takes place there, and how much you gotta do.
It's just a bad situation. I mean, it is. If I will tell you that if I can find a loophole to where we do in 2025, and if that's the way it goes, and we can go back to 2024, then I'm going to over the top push for it because I think that's fair and that's what's right. That's what everybody, or at least two of you.
It just seems weird that we're the only one in the general area.
Most others didn't get it. Surrounding was pretty close to the end of last year.
Some of the issue is and you'll have to forgive me, computers are like over here and I'm over here.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know a whole lot about it. But the software package that we have, what we're being told is that whatever we get has to line up and intermix with it and use with it. I don't know. Scott told me there's two guys going with two brothers, I guess. I don't know from that. I'm just, I guess for me, maybe we need to look at that too. Maybe that's something we need to look at because if we are doing things in such a way that we're not doing the best that we can and we're just kind of sliding by mediocre, this is where it bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
Is in scenarios like this. This kind of heads down a little rabbit trail, but it's even our internet service. Every time I talk to somebody up here, our internet service is going down. And I'm sitting there thinking,
must be Spectrum.
Well, it is. And I think Chuck had talked to Mark or something. I heard through there that he wasn't. I'm surprised he hasn't come to us yet about maybe switching over to Socket because Socket's like $600 cheaper with a whole lot better. So I mean, something like that we need to do.
Yeah.
It's just instead of just well, let's see what happens. We'll
Socket,
give it another month.
I've never had a problem with Socket at all, and I've never heard anybody that's hooked up with them and has.
And I don't know, yeah, like I said, I have no idea even how stuff works. So, but it just seems to me if it's cheaper and nobody's having issues with it, why are we just hanging on to what we're hanging on to?
That's a no-brainer to not do.
Yeah. I mean,
There's a court.
Did you see all the Spectrum trucks out this morning?
The courts have their own.
Their own.
Town?
Chuck and I have been talking about.
Something happened.
Oh yeah,
We've
Spectrum.
been seeing why they would.
I had to completely get rid of them because they couldn't keep nothing running right.
Yeah, I just. want to
TV
stop.
or nothing.
We just, and this is, like I said, I've been here about 6 months, whatever it is. It's just for somebody that has didn't know anything at all. I mean, literally, didn't know anything at all about the inner workings of this government. Man, it's like, really? If I ran my business like this, I'd have been belly up years ago. I mean, and that's terrible to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, if we find something that works or that we understand, and in saying that, you got to do the research and back it up and make sure, because, I can come tell you, ice to an Eskimo type deal, that's pretty simple. A lot of these guys, that's what they do. But we need to move on that.
Yeah.
Not just sit here. You know what? We may make mistakes. We may decide we're going to do something and it just blows up in our face. You don't learn and you don't improve if that doesn't happen every now and then. And the public, I'm just going to say this because I used to be the public, they need to understand that. The people up here are trying to do the best that they can with the information that they have. But they're all gun shy because it's like, oh man, we might get sued, so be it, bring it. I mean, that's my mindset. I mean, I've made so many business decisions that it's like, you know what, I'm either going to really pan out or I'm going to lose my ass.
Yeah.
But that's part of doing it.
You don't learn if you don't make mistakes.
Yeah, you're not gonna get any better. This county's not gonna get any better. It's not gonna run any smoother until people quit being afraid. Do your best, the best that you can. That's all you can do. But you can't do it afraid. I mean, I can't make a decision based upon if I'm gonna make you mad, I'm gonna make Amy mad. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't, because all it does is later on down the line, as we have found out, it comes back. And now you're really mad because we didn't do anything. So I personally, I'd rather piss you off doing something wrong than piss you off for just sitting here in this chair and not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you got to take chances to improve.
Well, you do, and I mean that's where we got bit on this. I mean that it is. Everybody can make excuses all they want. There's no excuse. Drop the ball. It needs to be put out there. It needs to be said. That's exactly what happened.
I'll say something later. We got a break. Can you break?
Yep.
One of the things, probably the biggest things, is to do the best thing for the county and not just like there. Some of the decisions we make can be costly because you get money. The trouble is we get a lot of money from the state.
Yeah.
And a lot of different places. And if you can pull that, and guess what? Then all of a sudden you don't have any money here. Now you can't operate on nothing.
Yeah.
Just like here. The wages keep going up around here. It's just like here and everything else we're doing. But that's the whole county that's causing it. Nothing we can do about it, but we're supposed to operate and keep it going. It'd be heck if it comes just like us. Some of the things we make decisions on. We had one here a few years ago was on the Indian, the reservation type deal. Guess what? We had to make a decision right here. We're one of, I think, 5 or 6 counties that get that money. You go downstate, well, we need you to send some of that money to us. So we can't. I mean, we don't have to. So we don't. Now, that's a decision we make. But that's some of the things you got to deal with. And some of the talk you can do can be awful costly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And you don't want to, as far as I'm concerned, I do run it like a business. And I try to do what we can, just like here. When we came in, a lot of the offices had a lot of, they didn't need all the people they had. And one was Rick's office. Look what happened to that office. You can see it now. Kelly's handling it with 2 people, and
Yeah.
she needs another. But just like her, you used to have 4 or 5, and some of the other offices had lots of people.
Oh yeah,
Well,
there's
you
that
can't.
everywhere you
Well,
go.
then you're ridiculed. What are you doing? So you can't operate like that. But the next thing is you better figure out how much money you got coming in and how to make that work. It's just like I said, everybody wants to spend money, but at the end of the year, and come January, guess what? Then the money's going to have to be accounted for, because if you don't have the money to shell out, then you haven't got it. And that's what I'm saying. And just like a Senate Bill 190 or 657, I'm 100%. Just like the biggest part about it, then you got people talk about this the other bill that's worth more money anyway. It makes more sense for seniors. Bruce knows it real well, and that's makes more sense. But just like down there at the state, they didn't do a lot of thinking when they implemented. Out of 44 counties, every one is a different scenario what they're doing. Just like up in Cass County, of course they're Class 1 county. I'm Class 2, Akron's 1. But anyway, they can do a lot more. But just like them, sales tax is what they live on.
Yeah.
We can't live on sales tax. If we live on sales tax, we won't be up here. We won't be spending money like we're having it. It doesn't for us. When you get into $1 million, it's a lot of money to us. Same as 500,000. It amounts to a lot of things that we can do. Just like Sheriff Brown just got this one detective to be able to check people. Wonderful thing, but it's 40,000. You don't just pay for that with thin water.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, we're going to do it. We'll bill it. Just bill it to us. Well, guess what? There's a payday. You got to make that payment. Same
Everything's
as
got a
the-
balance on the bottom.
Same as the bridge barn. All that equipment don't come cheap, and somebody's got to pay for it. Now, and that's what we have done. And some of that, yes, came from the ARPA money, but we could do it later. That's what they came out. So we did do it, and we done it. And it's probably a bad decision. If you talk to the senior, well, we should have shuffled it back to the county. Everybody in the county get a check. Well, guess what? That don't work either. I mean, it'd be virtually it's awful hard to do. And number 2, just like here, it's still we're spending it for the better of the county. Just like now, the roads we're hoping are taken care of better. I assume that, Mark. The equipment we had, every time you went out and worked on the bridge, before we even got ready, we spent a week working on a piece of equipment to build a bridge. That's what happened. Now it's changed all that. And some of that came in. And yes, it taken commissioners, and some of that had to be done, and commissioners made their choices. Now, if we'd have said, no, we're going to do it, just like we don't have to raise the taxes. We can change that, but there's a limit on what you can do because the state guides that for you. Just like they say, you're either going to get your tax up and evaluate everything the right, or guess what? We're going to come in and do it. And they have done it in some of the counties.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets serious. And you can say what you want. Then the state's going to say what they're doing. And you really, as a commissioner, don't have a word to say about it. And a lot of things, and like I told Mark, and then when you come in, you may have a good name and everything, a big name, but really you have less power than most elected officials here in this courthouse. Because some of the things you can say, but you can't really back up. If you can't back them up, why should you say it? So, that being said, we need to move ahead. Yes, Bruce.
Just make one comment.
What?
I've said this before. You need to put your energy in the House Bill 2050. That's the circuit breaker.
Circuit breaker. That's the whole time thing.
If your income's low enough,
Yep.
you can get all your tax.
Oh, I know, but you gotta be like 30,000 or under.
That's the problem. They haven't raised that since 2008 when they
The
started
only
that
ones that
program.
fall off after that are the guys sitting out by Walmart with a help sign.
Well, House
Beggars.
Bill,
Help people
Hey.
at Walmart make 30 grand a year.
House Bill 2050 is attempting to address all of those problems with that program, but it's just floundering in the state legislation.
I got about,
That'll
I
give
got
people
no
a lot
faith.
more money.
state and federal governments anymore. They've done proved to me that they're a bunch of crooks. They
No.
done that years ago and they ain't
Huh?
changed.
I said, none of it, bottom line, none of it's probably gonna work because the state sets things up for them not to work. That's the
That's-
whole issue in a nutshell. They want
Right.
their money,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna sit on high and go, hey, guess what?
Well, on this
We're gonna
program,
give you
the
this.
state, this would take money from the state, whereas Senate Bill 190, state's exempt.
All they done is Senate Bill 190 is strictly for a political
That's just
move to get
counties
somebody
that
voted
hammer.
in. Because it sounded good for him to do that.
But
And
this circuit breaker actually.
Every
would take
bill's
money
that
out.
way.
oh, yep.
Every
Right.
bill is for somebody to either buy a Beamer, a Cadillac,
Yeah.
or a reputation.
So anyway, but that's where it's at. I'm not neither nor, but we do have to. And right now we're trying to stamp all these, and we're doing that. Just like here, we got still several of them to go through.
You need an auto pen. Working
Hey.
in DC.
Our
Even the
stamper,
janitors could use
our
auto pen
stamper,
in DC.
our stamper's slow. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You got a manual stamper. You need one of them electric.
that's what I need. I can put that on the agenda here.
That way
That's
you can
something
put
we
it in
need
her
to-
office and she can
whoever-
sign before she
Whoever's
brought
here
it to you.
needs electric stamper. Kelly, can you see about getting me that?
Let me see if I can
Yeah.
get my stapler.
You need an electric auto pen.
No, I'm afraid that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I have to do it till,
Only in DC.
and I can't help it. We have to work and spend a lot of hours working at it.
Yeah.
And I probably spent more hours than last year on the commission that I've done since all the time I've been here. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying, just like this. I think some of this we went through, we can say all we want, but if we'd have went through before, yes. And my big thing, I said, fine, just set it and move ahead. You could have adopted it, but never done a program, and guess what? We'd have been sitting and we could have done anything we wanted,
Yeah.
but we didn't do that. That's a mistake.
Hindsight's 20/20.
You bet. That's why it'll just like here.
At least it is.
I know what you got, but just like here, and I'm not sure where this is going to end up either, because that's getting bigger and bigger, more problems.
Yeah.
Because none of the counties have to be alike. Just like Benton County is not the same as St. Clair County.
No, because Benton County property taxes are a hell of a lot cheaper than Henry County.
Yes, guess what? And that assessor is getting, I think there's some problems there. But they have problems anyway down in Benton County. So I'm very not
We should
going.
choose a different county.
Yeah, let's choose a different county than Benton. Right?
Different county right now.
They're in trouble there.
You can't say county government and say one that does not have problems. Because when you
Yeah.
put that government word in there, there's problems.
You
'Cause
got
then you're
problems.
dealing with the state and the feds. And that screws up everything.
Well, anyway, if you don't care, we need to move ahead
Go right ahead.
because I really need Mark down here. We got a little job, and we need to continue on that. I'd like to get done a little bit. Caught
Not
up.
until
on that.
I'm done.
Oh, Kelly's got some. Yes, Kelly. Oh, now what?
Scott Largent wanted me to share this information with you guys,
Oh.
just so that you know. This is his assessments, how many he has, and I mean, he just wanted you to get a glance because of this that we just adopted.
Oh, there you
And
go.
it shows like his timelines and things like that. So he just wanted to share it with you guys. So.
This is stuff that comes up too.
Yeah.
Got to follow it, and we can't help it. We're dictated to that, whether we like it or not. We may not say no. We can tell you this, but guess what? If it can't be done, that's going to be costly, and that's going to be a lot more costly than anything we can do. They may not have to worry about it because it's
Well, there ought to be some kind of grants and stuff out there to help with the electronic part. There's grants for everything else in the world.
They sure haven't been so far that I know of. Do you, Kelly?
I don't work in their
Software.
offices. I mean,
Oh, that's collector's office. And so far, they haven't been grants coming through on that.
Grants
You
are
know,
mostly taxpayer money anyway.
You can apply for
That's-
grants.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right. That's
I'm gonna spend it
taxpayer
anyway.
money.
Might as well get something out of my tax money.
Typically, I can
True,
speak
that's
for
why
Yeah.
it keeps the system in place.
I can speak for election grants because I've done it for a while. Well, my new election equipment cost me $500,000 I mean, I'm just throwing out a number, and
Yeah.
the state sent me 10. I mean, that was my grant.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, while there might be a grant out there for it, it's not gonna.
Not to amount much. Anyway, that's what. One of the things I dislike, and anyway, I don't care what you say. I try to do what's best for Henry County. I don't care what decision is. When I went in here, that's one of the things I said. I don't care what I'll do. I may make mistakes. I'm not going to say I don't make mistakes, but I will try to correct them if I can. If not, but still yet, I'm doing what I feel like is the best thing for all the citizens of Henry County. And it's not just like myself. Hey, I'm all in for all that. Because believe me, I'm a senior also. It's
Oh, yeah.
well worth it. I'd love to do it, but I know what the
Just more
problems
reading.
right now.
This is on that
Just like here.
opioid litigation that I
Yeah.
sent you, the
Like I
one
said,
that we had
So
to
my wife
act
I said,
on.
well,
This
fill
is
one out and
the
send
same
it in.
thing, and
And I said,
I've just
the
got to have
state's
Jim
probably
sign
gonna
it.
wipe it out before we do it, before we get it. And if we can change it back, if we could, that'll happen. That's one of the things there. But if we can't, we can't. Nothing we can do about it. So, what do you make? 3 copies?
You know, it's fine.
Well, these two the same.
Well, the first one has more information, and the second page just.
Well, most these I already know. Now, I know what it's got. BOE is the next thing on the list. That's
Kelly, before I go, I was just curious, is there been any more interest that you know of for the school?
No, ma'am. Only the ones that we had. The other day, I checked with the superintendent yesterday just to see if there was more that we needed to schedule, and there have not been any more. I talked to her yesterday afternoon.
is this.
Okay.
And you guys did decide you are gonna live tomorrow. So they will be on live. They may not record like Mark does, but they will be on live YouTube because it is an open.
So it'll be during the commissioners meeting, there's tomorrow's Wednesday.
We posted a special agenda
Uh-huh.
that the commissioners will meet at 8:50 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
The interviews will begin at 9 o'clock. There will be no public comment. That is on the agenda. It is specifically to interview. But that has to be open. And so we've had questions about live videoing, and so they are going to do that. But we are scheduled to wrap up at like 10:30.
Okay. And the ones that were gonna be held by phone, did they get scheduled? I know that there were a couple of them.
I
This
have
is
6
for
out of
the
7
opioid deal.
scheduled.
That's what I got
Um,
assigned to do that.
The other one,
That's all right.
so the way that it was handled was they were contacted and told to call me.
Because that
schedule
amounts to a
a
lot of money.
Good.
Here's one, Eddie.
And
Here's the one we're
only
doing
one person
right
was
now.
not contacted.
It's an opioid settlement that we
Hopefully
signed
that
up
person
for
does today.
6 years ago.
If
It's
they
now
don't,
coming through, and we
I
get
mean, I
the
kinda feel
county
like that's
gets
on them.
several thousand.
I'm not going to be
100,000.
here tomorrow. I have
And what we're doing, just
stuff
like
that,
this test machine for
I know
checking for
Mefford
drugs,
reached out to this
we
person.
bought one of that one.
That's all we can do.
That, I mean,
Some of
at
that's
what
being
point do
done,
you-
but guess what? That was done by the commissioners
Understood.
that we signed up for it,
Understood.
and it was
They do have
actually
the phone number of everybody, so if they feel like they want to call that person after they interviewed
I
everybody
don't,
else?
I think
Yes,
that
they
was
would.
before Rick and Dale. Back then.
Fair
That's
enough.
how many years
Just wanna
ago
make
it's
sure
been.
that people
Yeah.
who were on
And that
vacation
was-
had a
That was
fair-
something we
Yes.
looked ahead.
I talked to
Try
them
to do the
yesterday,
right
they're
thing.
gonna do theirs at the same
State
time because
moves
they're
real
gonna be
And the
traveling,
state,
but they're gonna
the
be on
state,
phone.
guess what? The state didn't do it. Now the state came in, they're wanting some of this money that we get because of it. Because we get it off the top. Then we get a cut of the
They've
state.
always got their hands out, no
So,
matter what you do.
but anyway, that's some of the things you want to talk about while we do.
Oh,
That's something we have to do.
I didn't say you
Just
guys
like
didn't
that.
do
I'm
anything.
not saying,
I just said you drug your feet on one.
yeah, I'm gonna argue the point.
Speaking
I'm
of
not gonna
dragging-
argue the point there.
Speaking of dragging feet, look what just walked in.
Thank you.
Hi,
Good morning,
Dennis.
Des.
Morning.
Maybe you should check your life feed, Dennis.
I did.
You might be on camera.
I doubt it unless you changed one of them.
It's been changed.
I didn't change a thing.
Kelly?
I didn't change. Jim, did I change anything?
No, she did not do it. I'll be a witness to that deal I know about.
Are you telling the truth with the intent to deceive?
I'll know here in a little bit when I get back to the office. I'll pull her up.
Well, you can pull it up.
I wouldn't pick my nose, Dennis.
She was.
So I wouldn't pick my nose if I were you.
And we're getting all these back here too.
I'm just gonna quit coming.
Can you fill the rest? I signed it. Oh, another one. Oh, there's just one. Twice. I need to sign it too.
Yeah,
There.
please do. That one
I
too.
just seen that.
Did you find anything out on my BRO?
I was getting to ask you the same thing.
I sent Mr. King an email yesterday after I talked to you, and I hadn't heard anything of this morning, so, but I just held it back. I'm not gonna pay it until.
Well, whenever I leave here, I'll go back to the office and give him a call and see if we can communicate.
Well, I thought if I didn't hear something from you by the time I left here, that I might call Zach or the guy that sent me the bill. Yeah, I couldn't find anything. I went through all the paper, all those emails that he sent, and then down at the bottom it says something about a work order. Never once did I see a work order mentioned. But on this. What I do with So this was their first bill, no change orders. We paid this portion and then this is what we were supposed to have left. With this being the total original contract. Well, then on this one, they've got a whole column here, something about
I gotta
galvanized
go try and
steel,
find a pair of shoes for a wedding.
you know,
For a wedding.
for a change order.
Yeah,
It bumped me up to that.
and trying to find size 15
And I
shoes
haven't seen anything.
is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
I don't either. I don't know what that's about.
So
So.
I'm not
I
gonna pay
can't
it.
Yeah, my
help you there.
granddaughter decided to change
I'm not gonna
colors.
pay it till we figure it out.
Now I
because
gotta go
commissioners have to-
Have a good day.
You too.
I think they would have to.
I would too.
Besides, I need to stretch my legs.
So I'm just curious, but that's.
Are you guys ready for me? Or
We
you
are.
waiting
Yes,
for
sir.
Jake or?
Yes,
Jake's
sir.
not here.
Okay. And we'll be on camera. Might as well have my drink with me. Got plans for the Southeast 100 bridge out here. With that being said, they told me what beam size I need to order. So this is the specs that I typed up for
The beans.
the beans. So if you guys approve it today, then I can get it next week's paper, hopefully. And then we can open the bids on the 15th.
Is that for me?
That's for you.
Thank you. Does somebody have something
The
on
bridge right now is 38 feet long. They're wanting to make it 10 feet longer. So anyway, with the slope and stuff of the banks and stuff, that's what we're gonna have to do.
$33 by 100.
33 inch
what's this?
tall. They're 33-inch tall beams, 130 pounds per foot, 50 foot
50
long.
foot long, 130 pounds per foot. Okay.
They come shipping private.
They ship them direct to my lot.
Yep.
Well, no, they come with shipping prime, that grade that's on them, that's all that is. Are you guys going to try to start putting the finish on to where 40 years from now?
It won't do us any good to put the finish on them right now because when we take them out and put them on the beam on the bridge, we have to weld them to
Weld them to
the cap.
Okay.
But what I've been thinking is after we build these bridges, wait about 5 years, go out and put the reverse osmosis on them, then paint them.
Didn't pay. I think it'd be money ahead for.
But like we just started really getting into this bridge thing 3 years ago. So I mean, it's going to be a couple of years before we start reverse osmosing and then paint. Because I understand what you're saying. It's gonna make the longevity of the bridge last and stuff. But I want to get that first initial exposure out there. Of course, we don't have on our roads, and the inspectors can tell you this more. We don't have the corrosive as bad as the cities and the states do because we don't put no salt there.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
I mean, we could probably reverse osmosis
Yeah.
these bridges 2 or 3 times before we actually had to
Put a
paint
pin
them
on.
because we don't put no salt there.
Well, see that bridge there on Franklin Street? That's exactly what happened. Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Salt got it.
If you,
salt got it.
after you weld them, if you would put the OSPO on it, you'd probably be golden for years, 4 or 5 years. The thing is, you know as well as I do, once you weld it, now the rust has.
It's got a place to start penetrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you did it, and the thing is, you put that Hudson spray and just wherever your rust spots are, come back the next day, it will literally be iron oxide.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We when we've done those bridges for Windsor,
Yeah.
we sprayed them and they turned black, and then we went out there the next day, and there were some of them that we thought we had scraped down good had flaked off, and we had to re-scrape them and do.
Yeah, it's a good product.
But we don't have the problem on the county roads as the state and the cities do because we don't put salt there.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I mean, we have a long time before we start showing rust. And that reverse osmosis after using it, I'm big on it.
Well.
So, but if with your guys' blessing, I'm gonna go ahead and get these bids put out.
He doesn't need a motion or anything.
No,
Yeah.
how's your budget?
My budget's good on bridge beams.
You notice he kind of closed it
And
in.
don't look at the BRO line, that's not his fault.
My budget's good on bridge beams.
FYI, I just received a email from Brent
Yeah.
King, the guy that I sent about And he said the project manager, John, is out this week and will be back on Monday the 7th. We will be happy to look into this and get back to you, so we won't have any answers. until
Okay.
All right.
With that being said, I'm going to need to, I still got culvert money, a little over 100-some-thousand. I'm gonna need to order some more culverts. So
You go through them like water.
right now we're putting culverts in. If it's not raining, we're putting them in. We
Hey,
got, matter of
there's
fact,
a lot
we
of
got
places.
2 out today, going out today, putting 2 in today. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get a culvert bid culvert package put in and get them, because we have them on a yearly bid mark, and if not due up till August, so that should carry me for till the first of the year. Then we can get on a calendar year rotation, hopefully. With all that being said, I've waited on my budget long enough, and I still got enough in my budget, and it was budgeted in my budget.
It's a lot of budget talk.
A lot of budgets in there.
He's trying to convince us.
Right.
I want to go ahead and bid out another new dump truck, because I have 1 dump truck and 1 straight truck. We got some jobs coming up where I'm gonna have to start doing some long hauling, and I can't just sit and wait for dump trucks to haul material. So no, I don't put a bunch of miles on them in a year's time, but when I do use them, I use them. So with that being said, I'd like to go ahead and get a bid specs put together and try to get it in next week's paper too, where we can open those bids on the 15th also.
What do you think you're gonna have to spend?
About 190,000. But I had budgeted in my budget 250, and I haven't touched that budget yet. But I've been looking through Premier Truck Groups, Custom One Truck Groups, and a couple others, and you're talking somewhere around 190. And that's for a brand new 2025 truck.
If you guys want to look at his budget, I ran the road and bridge budget yesterday, so I can print you off one real quick.
Couldn't find a good user.
I don't want to buy someone else's headaches. If they're getting rid of it, there's a reason why. It's just like when we bought that road tractor last year. We looked and looked and looked, and finally found one that had low miles on it. And
That's not necessarily good either, because it's been set.
it's been set.
That's the big thing. What happened?
I'm out of paper.
Oh my gosh.
But you guys just tell me yay or nay. And if you guys say yay, then I'll type up the specs and get it put together and get it to Kelly. But if you tell me no, I'll just bounce you about it then again in a couple months.
I'll be back.
I've got one, but I'm out of paper. I can't print it
Well-
out, so. But yeah, it's in his budget. He's got it.
Huh?
It's
You
in
don't
there.
want
He's got it.
well, Tarzy's out of budget, that's for sure.
That's why I gotta buy a new truck, because I can't afford tires.
That's why you want the truck, isn't it?
I was
That
gonna say,
first
well,
cut-
the new
that first-
truck comes with tires, so.
The first couple of months done my
That's
tires.
why you want a new truck.
The first
Oh.
2 months of this year done my tire budget in.
It did.
Had a couple of mistakes made, and
Hey,
It
when you had to
happens.
put 8 new tires on a trailer, that hurts.
and anymore, they're pricey. Everything is. That's the thing. Yep. How's your people doing? Good, bad, indifferent.
Maybe you don't want to ask a question you don't want the answer to.
Maybe you should ask that on another day, Jim.
Yep. All
Not
right.
today.
Better days. Better days. All right. Figured I asked.
We had a bad day Friday.
Hmm.
No, Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday we had a bad day.
I'd say mowing could be a bad day every day right now.
That was our bad day.
No, getting stuck. I can.
Ain't been stuck yet.
You have it.
Nope.
The 15-foot ain't been stuck.
Nope.
He ain't mowing with a shit.
They're doing a good job. Bad thing of it is, hooked the guide wire last Thursday and snapped electrical pole off. And 3 hours later, after flagging traffic for Osage Valley, they finally had the power back on to everybody up in that area.
That could happen.
So,
Well, you get a hold of that up the top and you're pulling down. It won't take much. You'll
well,
stop.
and I can't. I mean, it had 6 different guide wires coming off of it. So, I mean,
Yeah. Hey,
if and the weeds are this tall out there, it's kind of hard to predict where them go in the ground at. And he just
Yeah.
barely snagged it, and it snapped the top of that pole off, and stuff went to haywire in a hurry.
Yep.
So anyway, I give my business card to Osage Valley and told them if they needed to send us a bill for it or whatever, just send it to Kelly.
No wonder he's wanting to get that damn truck in before the budget.
Yep.
That's
I wasn't
exactly-
going to tell you that until Thursday. That way, this would already be done.
As long as nobody was hurt.
Yeah. But I tell you
Nobody
what,
was hurt,
that'd
and
be-
no damage was done to our stuff and stuff. It
I
just
can't.
it snapped off one of them tall, skinny poles.
Hey, I was mowing the road ditch myself. I was using my wing down in the first ditch because they had left the darn window, and I'm not going to take my blades, put down that rock. So anyway, I was mowing, and I was fogging the dust. I mean, it's fogging. I looked up and seen a car pop over the hill, and he was probably driving 50 mile an hour on our gravel. And I thought, he can't see my mower sticking out on the road. He'll hit it. First thing I done, boy, I hit the PTO, starts up, grabbed hold of the lever, start pulling up. I said, I ain't gonna make that fast enough, so I gotta get over. Pulled over, caught Lenny's mailbox. I drug it across the road. You know, I didn't hurt it too bad, other than the lid a little bit, and then the pot of concrete it was sat in. So I happened to know where Lenny and him, so I called, said, hey, got a little problem. So anyway, come down, we fixed it. I told him I got him a new mailbox, and I said I'm gonna fix it a little better this time. I'll probably drive a pipe down there and set it on top of it so it don't fall over its bag. I said, need to be a little harder. But boy, it can happen pretty quick.
Vandalizing a detective's mailbox.
He just laughed. He
We
said,
got it on camera.
That's what I heard.
He admitted
That's what I
it's
heard.
the FBI that
Hey.
he's out there destructing
He-
federal property.
He said he was real good. In fact, they come down and helped me put her back in. Got her set in the dirt. The other thing's still setting. I got the mailbox and everything, but Sean's gonna build me a frame to set it on. So anyway,
So what you're saying is it happens.
it happens. I was a prime example.
So are you saying yes on my truck yet, Jim? Or do I need to wear you down a little more?
Hey, Doc, what do you
If
think?
you need it, and it's gonna improve you being able to do stuff, then I'd say. If
I
they're
got-
only gonna get more expensive.
I can justify the use of it.
Okay.
I know, little Dell, you don't want to spend the money like that.
I'll just say see the end of the year.
Look at the bright side. We had it in the budget for it.
Okay.
It's better than have it in the budget, not have it in the budget, than try to find it.
Okay. All right.
So, you have anything for me,
You're
Mark?
the one's gonna have to
Did
keep
Lane
track of
get
this
a hold of
money.
He's,
Do what?
Yeah,
we
they are.
budgeted for it in
Did you-
January, you can't
Have we
very
got
well
it?
tell him in July.
Maybe
if
we
he's
can
Have we
just
got
talk
it
back
to
and forth which one it is.
He's
in his budget.
he's not sure where that road.
Have you
actually
analyzed
is.
that
The
budget?
county line
I
from
did
501.
yesterday.
It should have a
And it's
northeast
okay.
501 and a
I'll
southeast
It is in
501
his
on
budget.
the same post, and that's where it stopped.
Just like
Really?
last
Okay, cause
I
the
said,
brick, he's
to Rick, I
concerned
said,
about the
Kelly told me, I'm not.
phone call.
I said, you're right, Rick.
Holes
She's not
through
cheap.
that little brick
But I
right
said,
there.
she's
That
learning
bridge is
right
in
away.
Henry.
She knows some
Okay,
things.
okay. And he wasn't sure where exactly.
Yeah,
And I can go up
Big
there
thing
today
is
and draw
like
a mark
that
across the line.
Okay.
But he sent me a
But Chuck,
text message.
if we
last
see him,
night.
I don't need to talk to him, Chuck.
Yep, that's it, that's all.
I got it. I got it.
Jim, you got anything for me?
Guess not. Go ahead and get the quote.
Kelly.
Quit driving. Now, will you be a happy boy now?
Do what?
You get to bid your truck.
Yep. I won't bug you Thursday now. I won't be up here. Won't
Oh,
see
you won't.
No, but I do.
Oh,
I do want to get the record straight on one thing.
Why?
Last week there was a gentleman in here saying that the township out here that we've been working for, they pay for us to haul the rock or the dirt off. He blades his rock to one side, pulls that ditch, we haul it off. Then he moves all the rock back to that side and pulls this ditch, and then we haul that side off.
I
So
know that person.
I'm not sure.
I think he's already been in here today.
oh, it don't matter, but I just want to set the record
Thank-
straight. He pays for the township pays for all the dirt hauling. They pay for all the culverts that get put in, and any ditch work that we have to go out there and do or anything like that. They pay for all that stuff. It's not like that these townships are having to get free handouts or anything like that.
I think he's
And-
paying all that.
And so, anyway, I just wanted to set the record straight because I couldn't talk last week. So, anything else?
Nope. Thank you.
Be good. See you.
Thank you for coming in.
Happy 4th of July.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I want to ask you, do we want to be filmed while we stamp and go through these?
it's completely up to y'all if y'all want to end session and
Yes.
go. I
Or
do
we
need
can-
a couple things, other things taken
Oh.
care of while we're in open session still.
Okay, let's go ahead.
There is an email that you received this morning from
Oh.
Ivan Schrader. At 8:57. Just need you to look at it in case you need to go into closed session before you leave here. I don't think that you do. It looks like Ivan's in court anyways, so I just wanted to make you aware that you did have an email from Ivan.
Okay.
And there was something else. We are not shutting the parking lot down until Thursday, correct, Jim? That was the plan.
That's what I'd said.
Okay.
And I hope it works that way, because Thursday, it's going to be bad enough Thursday, because there'll be cars parked there.
You ain't telling me nothing. I've been doing this for 20 years.
It's
Jim.
not, it's not our first rodeo.
Everybody,
Hey, I want-
everybody's like, I think I'll take vacation now.
Hey, I wanted to tell David the other day. Let me tell you something. It's not our first deal we have. The trouble is, they forget we've got a business we're running, and our business is a little different than this town's. There's a lot
Yeah,
of-
before it really didn't, when we had all four doors open, I didn't, the issue wasn't there as present. Now that we only have the one accessible door, it kind of changes the game a little bit, in my
Mhm.
opinion, because that's our parking lot for the building. That's the only way they can get in. So I think that's what makes it different this year. It makes it feel a little different than what it has been previously. Our lawn service did come and mow
Yeah.
yesterday. I was shocked after all that rain. They showed up, sun came out, they mowed her.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they have kept it clean. It looks nice.
They
Bad
do a
thing, it
very
won't-
good job.
It won't look that good after they get that.
No, better take a picture.
Yeah.
They do a very good job.
I don't see any need to call him. You?
No,
Okay.
Also tomorrow, the Davis School interviews. I don't know if you heard me say, I'm not going to be here. I've got family stuff I gotta do. I have a list of who's coming in at what time. We scheduled them in 15-minute increments. You can keep that list up here. Amy will be up here and she'll get the live going. The
Okay.
lesbies are who we have to phone interview. Everybody else will be in person. On that last slot, like I said, I've only heard from 6 of the 7 applicants. I mean, Neffer reached out to that person to let them know that they would have to call and set an appointment. I really don't feel like it's my responsibility to call and make him set an appointment if he was already told or she was already told to set an appointment. I don't even know who it is. I will. You guys do have the number of all of those
Yeah.
people, so if you choose to call that person tomorrow, that's up to you. That person may call today to get on the schedule. So,
Yeah. All right.
but I will not be here. So, is there anything that you need from me for that process tomorrow that I can do ahead of time?
Do we need to call Jake too to be on that too?
I think he was expecting a
Yeah.
call.
I think he was. So can we tie them all in together? We should be able to. Put 'em
Oh,
on
on the
hold.
phone?
Yeah, and I know, I think I can do them on.
I mean, I do it on my cell phone, but I don't know how to do it on these
That's
phones,
what,
but Amy may.
yeah, I don't know, hey, maybe Amy does. Cause I think it's pretty easy for them,
Uh-huh.
cause all you gotta do is join them.
Is there anything you need from me, for that tomorrow?
And
I can't think of anything.
so we got a copy of the application.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
keep that
Oh,
one here.
Okay,
If that
yeah.
other person calls in, I'll just come up and add them to
Okay. Alright.
the list.
Okay.
Are you going to only interview tomorrow and then make your appointments on Thursday? I will be back Thursday.
I don't, are we, really, I want Jake here when we're doing that, don't you think?
Either that or when we, after everybody's done, we get Jake on the
Have some
phone
discussion.
and just,
Talk to him.
yeah,
And then maybe in Thursday's minutes, when we meet again, since that's Wednesday, we can do the official appointments in the minutes on that day, send out the letters on Thursday, and so you're not short any time.
right.
I don't think you wanna wait till Jake's back in person. I
Okay.
think the matter is too important timely wise that, the longer you wait,
The worse it
the
gets.
worse it's gonna be for the Davis School District. So I think you need to do that this week, but that's my own personal opinion.
Okay.
They can't do business, and right now school districts are in the middle of doing business that they can't do. So, you know, they're getting ready to set their tax levies, and they're getting ready. There are things that they have to have a board operational for right now. So. Okay, I'm done yakking at you. You can end it if you want to.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. Motion been made, seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.